Agreed. You thought of that? Very well. You thought of that? That was my plan. You thought of that? Agreed. Greetings. That was my plan. Death rages. You thought of that? Die. I must hunt. I hunger. Death rages. Die. Death rages. Die. Very well. What, mortal? Greetings. What, mortal? I must hunt soon. That was my plan. That was my plan. I hunger. Greetings. Rages. Die. Death rages. Die. Death rages. What is it now? Die. Very well. Agreed. That was my plan. Very well. I must hunt soon. Death rages. That was my plan. Die. Agreed. That was my plan. I hunger. Death rages. I hunger. You thought of that? Very well. You thought of that? Greetings.
First blood.
You thought of that? That was my plan. You thought of that? That was my plan. Death rages. I hunger. I must hunt soon. Agreed. What, mortal? You thought of that? Agreed. Very well. You thought of that? That was my plan. You thought of that? Death rages. Very well. You thought of that? Agreed. You thought of that? That was my plan. Very well. That was my plan.
Our allies' town needs
Very
help.
well. I must hunt soon. What, mortal? You thought of that? Greetings. What is it now? Die. I hunger. What, mortal? Death rages. That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that? Greetings. Your soul is mine. That was my plan. You thought of that? Very well. I must hunt soon. I hunger.
Our allies' town needs help.
Death rages. I hunger. I must hunt soon. Death rages. What, mortal? Greetings. What, mortal? You thought of that?
Our allies' town needs help.
Agreed. What, mortal? Greetings. That was my plan. What, mortal? You thought of that? Very well. That was my plan. Die. I hunger. Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. Die. Death rages. Die. I must hunt soon. What is it now? I hunger. Very well. You thought of that? Agreed. Greetings. Death rages. Die. Death rages. What is it now? You thought of that? What, mortal? What is it now? Very well. Agreed. thought of that? Very well. I must hunt soon. You thought of that? What, mortal? That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that? Agreed.
Our allies' town
Very
needs
well.
help.
Agreed. What is it? I hunger. I hunger. Death rages. You thought of that?
Our
I
allies'
hunger.
town needs help.
I must hunt soon. That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? Die. That was my plan. Death rages. Very well. Agreed. You thought of that? I hunger. Very well. Die. What? Agreed. Very well. I must hunt soon. You thought of that?
Wait till you
What,
see me.
mortal? What is it now? Very well. Greetings. That was my plan. I must hunt soon. Very well. Greetings. What, mortal? That was my plan. I must hunt soon. Very well. You thought of that? Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? Greetings. Death rages. What? Greetings. I must hunt soon. Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. Your soul is mine. Greetings. Very well. I must hunt soon. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that? What is it now? I must hunt soon. That was my plan. Greetings. Very well. That was my plan. What, mortal? Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. Die. I hunger. Must hunt soon. Thought of that? Death rages. That was my plan. Die. Very well. That was my plan. I hunger. Greetings. You thought of that? I must hunt soon. What? Death rages. Greetings. Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of
Our
that?
allies' town
Agreed.
needs help.
That was my plan. What is it now? Agreed. I must hunt soon. You thought of that? What? More greetings. I hunger. Greetings. Your soul is mine. Death rages. Agreed.
Our
Your
warriors
soul
have
is
engaged
mine.
the enemy.
Very well. Agreed. You thought of that? That was my plan. I hunger. Very well. That was my plan. What is it now? What, mortal? Agreed. Greetings. That was my plan. What is it now? What, mortal? Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. Very well. Agreed. That was my plan. Very well. You thought of that? Very well. Greetings. is it now? Greetings. That
Our
was my
allies'
plan.
town needs help.
What, mortal? Very well. That was my plan. Very well. That was my plan. You thought of that. That was my plan. Very well. You thought of that. What is it now? What, mortal? Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? Agreed. You thought of that? Very well. Greetings. That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that? Very well. Agreed. Your soul is mine. Very well. You thought of that? Death rages. What is it now? Dominating. Double kill. You thought of that? Must hunt soon. What, mortal? What is it now? Agreed. I must hunt soon. Very well. Your soul is mine. What is it now? Agreed. Greetings. I must hunt soon. You thought of that? Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? That was my plan. You thought of that? Agreed. Very well. Greetings. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that? Very well. That was my plan. You thought of that? I must hunt soon.
Take your time. Look around.
What is it now? Agreed. Greetings. You thought of that? That was my plan. What? I hunger. What is it now? You thought of that? Mega killer. You thought of that? Agreed. What, mortal? Greetings. I must hunt soon. That was my plan. Death rages. What, mortal? Greetings. Very well. What, mortal? You thought of that? That was my plan. I hunger. Greetings. What? What is it now? I must hunt soon. Why am I always walking? Agreed. That was my plan. Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. What, mortal? Agreed. You thought of that? Very well. Agreed. Very well. Agreed. You thought of that? What is it now? That was my plan. Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that? That was my plan. What, mortal? Unstoppable. I hunger. I must hunt soon. Greetings. Very well. What?
Greetings, my lord.
What is it now? I hunger. Death rages. What? That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that? Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. Very well. Greetings. You thought of that? Agreed. Very well. What is it now? That was my plan. Very well. Agreed. Greetings. You thought of that? Agreed. You thought of that? What is it now? Greetings. That was my plan. You thought of that? Agreed. That was my plan. Very well. You thought of that? Very well. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that? What mortal? Very well. What is it now? You thought of that? Greetings.
Wicked sick.
Must hunt soon. You thought of that? What mortal?
Monster kill.
Agreed. You thought of that? What is it now? That was my plan. Very well. I hunger. You thought of that? Agreed. I must hunt soon. Very well. What is it now? I must hunt soon. What mortal? Greetings. Why am I always wrong?
Our allies' town
Yes?
needs help.
Last time, I'm a dread lord, not a drug lord. What is it now?
Godlike.
Greetings. Agreed. You thought of that? What is it now? Very well. What mortal? You thought of that? I must host. What mortal? Greetings. What is it now?
Hello.
You thought of that? What mortal? Greetings.
What is your wish?
Greetings. Agreed. What mortal? You thought of that? That was my plan. Greetings. You thought of that? I must hunt soon. Your soul is mine. What mortal? I hunger. That was my plan. What is it now? I must hunt soon. What mortal? I must hunt soon. You thought of that? Greetings. Very well. Very well. What is it now? I must hunt soon. What mortal? Agreed. Greetings. I must hunt soon. Greetings. Die. That was my plan. Very well. You thought of that? That was my plan. You thought of that? Very well. I must hunt soon. What mortal? You thought of that? Agreed. I must hunt soon. Very well. Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed.
More words?
Greetings. That was my plan. Greatness. I must hunt soon. Die. What mortal? Agreed. I must hunt soon. What mortal? What is it now? I have dreams. Why am I always Very well. Your soul is mine.
Double kill.
That. Very well.
Our warriors have engaged the
That was
enemy.
my plan. Very well.
Our allies' town
What
needs
is
help.
it? Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. What, mortal? You thought
Our
of that?
allies' town needs
What
help.
is it now? Agreed. That was my plan. I hunger. What is it now? Very well. What is it now? I must hunger soon. Agreed. Death rages. Greetings. You thought of that? That was my plan. I must hunger soon. What is it now? What? I must hunger soon. Very well. That was my plan. What, mortal?
Thy bidding, master.
Greetings. You thought of that? Very well. I must hunger soon. What, mortal? What is it now? I must hunger soon. What, mortal? I must hunger soon. Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. Greetings. What is it now? I hunger. You thought of that? Very well. That was my plan. I must hunger soon. You thought of that? Very well. Agreed. Very well. Greetings. What is it now? I have wings. Why am I always walking? What is it now? I must hunger soon. That was my plan. Very well. That was my plan. Very well. What? That was my plan. Very well. Agreed. You thought of that? That was my plan. You thought of that? Very well. Agreed. You thought of that? I must hunt soon. Your soul is mine. Very well. That was my plan. I hunger. You thought of that? What is it? Very well. Agreed. What, mortal? Very well. You thought of that? Very well. That was my plan. I must hunt soon. Holy shit! Greetings. Die. Very well. That was my plan. Very well. Agreed. What is it now? Very well. What, mortal? Holy shit! Greetings. What, mortal? What is it now? Agreed. You thought of that? Die. I must hunt soon. Very well. Agreed. You thought of that? That was my plan. Death rages. What mortal? What is it now? Greetings. If I have wings, why am I always walking? Very well. What? Holy shit! Your soul is mine. What is it now? What? Double kill! You thought of that?
Our allies'
Give me
town
something
needs
to
help.
do!
I hunger. Very well. I must hunt soon. You thought of that? Agreed. You thought of that? Very well. You thought of that? Very well. You thought of that? Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. Death rages. Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? I hunger. What is it now? That was my plan. Death rages. What, mortal? What is it now? Holy shit! That was my plan. I hunger. I must hunger soon. You thought of that? What is it now? What, mortal? Very well.
Give me something to do!
Welcome to our village.
I must hunt soon. Agreed. That was my plan. What is it now? I must hunt soon. You thought of that? Holy shit! I hunger. What is it now? What, mortal? What is it now? Agreed. Very well. Agreed. Holy shit! What is it now? What, mortal? Double kill! Soul is mine. Triple kill!
Hello.
Greetings. What, mortal? Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that? Agreed. Very well. I must hunt soon. Die. Greetings. Agreed.
Thy bidding,
I
master.
must hunt soon. Greetings.
I bow to your will.
What, mortal? Very well. You thought of that? Agreed. Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. That was my plan. I must hunt soon. What is it now? Agreed. I must hunt soon. You thought of that? Agreed. That was my plan. Very well. What? That was my plan. Death rages. I must hunt soon. Greetings. I hunger. Death rages. What is it now? What, mortal? Agreed. Very well. Holy shit! You thought of that? Double kill! That was my plan. You thought of that? I hunger. Very well. You thought of that? What is it now? Holy shit!
Triple kill!
I must hunt soon. Agreed. What? Death rages. I must hunt soon. What is it now? Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that? Very well. What, mortal? Agreed. That was my plan. Greetings.
Thy bidding, master.
I must hunt soon. Agreed. That was my plan. Your soul is mine. That was my plan.
Triple kill!
That was my plan. You thought of that? That was my plan.